You've probably heard people talk about climate change. And maybe not just heard about it, but actually felt its effects. Climate change is caused by what we humans do. We increase greenhouse gases like CO2, which affect the atmosphere the same way a plastic roof affects the temperature inside a greenhouse. If the gases keep increasing, the temperature rises and the planet's climate changes. We need to act immediately to limit this temperature rise. If the temperature increases more than 1.5 degrees Celsius, the effects on the world's ecosystems could be irreversible, and the negative impact in our quality of life could be very significant. There are two ways to do something about climate change. Mitigation. We can reduce greenhouse gas emissions or help the planet absorb more of them. And adaptation. We can evaluate how vulnerable we are to climate change as a society and implement actions that help us adapt to its impacts. Some parts of the world have been set aside to conserve and manage biodiversity, as well as the goods and services that nature provides through ecosystems. These areas offer natural solutions to mitigate climate change and help us adapt to the challenges of a changing climate. These places are protected areas. Thanks to the systems of protected areas and the governments that manage them, protected areas are a fundamental component of the global response to climate change. Regarding mitigation, they help preserve forests and ecosystems. This prevents the release of carbon dioxide present in vegetation and soil. Protected areas even absorb carbon emissions from the atmosphere into natural ecosystems. Protected areas systems are the most effective management strategy for preventing deforestation and land use changes. Regarding adaptation, they're efficient and essential tools for ensuring the provision of vital ecosystem services for society. They safeguard the integrity of ecosystems, guarantee water supplies, reduce the impact of natural disasters, maintain food supplies, and ensure access to traditional medicines. The Amazon is a great example of how protected areas are natural solutions for climate change mitigation and adaptation. The Amazon, the largest tropical rainforest in the world, is home to an incredible biodiversity. It also hosts more than 34 million people in the 9 countries that share it. Protected areas and indigenous territories cover almost 50% of its surface. In terms of adaptation, Amazon protected areas ensure the provision of water for many cities in the region in the context of climate change. Bogotá, Quito, and Rio de Janeiro are among the 33 main cities of the world that receive their water supply from protected areas. In Colombia, the National Natural Park System provides water for 50% of the country's population. In terms of mitigation, in Brazil, for example, protected areas and other territories under conservation could prevent the deforestation of 670,000 square kilometres, 260,000 square miles, by 2050. This would avoid the emission of up to 8 billion tonnes of carbon. In order for Amazon protected areas to become real natural solutions to climate change, we must plan and manage them from a regional point of view. We have to connect networks of protected areas beyond national borders and integrate them into strategies that countries already have for climate change and development. This is why the Amazon Conservation Vision was born. An initiative led by Red Parques. Among other things, the Amazon Vision seeks to recognise the role and importance of Amazon protected areas for climate change mitigation and adaptation. To achieve this goal, local organisations, government and communities must work together. Only if the needs of all communities are taken into account and natural systems are adequately managed, will we be able to mitigate and adapt to the current and long-term impacts of climate change. Amazon protected areas need us for their adequate conservation and management, and we need them to guarantee a better future. This is why it's so important to work together to strengthen them. We can help by promoting policies that take into account their role in addressing climate change and raising awareness of their importance. Protected areas are natural solutions to climate change.